as a psychologist or a therapist, when helping clients define their outcome, what are the key factors that you must consider? Before we look at what these key factors are, go ahead and share this video with other mental health practitioners on social networks and WhatsApp groups. Remember, you help others and others will help you become more skilled. Now, to understand the key factors that you must consider when helping clients define their outcomes, it is important to understand what is the objective of the outcome being defined. I personally ask clients to define two different types of outcomes from the point of view of overall objective. The objective of the first set of outcomes is to get a broad understanding of what is the client looking at achieving or the direction that the client would like to work in. And second set of outcomes are more related to specific things that they want to achieve in their lives. For a broad outcome, there are 5 key factors that you need to keep in mind. First is that the outcome needs to be defined using positive words. Now, I am not really talking about positive thinking here. What I mean is that the outcome should indicate what the client is looking at achieving and not what the client is trying to avoid. So, for example, a client defines their problem as, I feel angry about my partner when she doesn't agree with me. When I ask the client to define their outcome, the client may say, I wish to learn to communicate with my partner more effectively and be calm even when she disagrees with me. Or the client may say, I don't want to get angry at my partner even when she disagrees with me. Can you notice the difference? How? Because the first sentence uses positive words. It gives us a clear direction about what the client wishes to do or achieve. But in the second case, while we know what the client doesn't want, we still don't know what is the outcome that the client wishes to achieve. The outcome doesn't provide us with a sense of clear direction. Second, even when the outcome is broad, it still needs to have some context. The context can be a person, a situation, an area of life. Take the following 2 examples. I wish to completely be calm at all times. And second, I wish to be calm while speaking to my wife. Notice the first statement is too broad, and as a practitioner, you may struggle with creating a therapeutic plan that covers every area of the client's life. In the second sentence, since the client mentions wife, we know that the area where we need to start with is relationship, and a therapy plan can be created for the same. In case the client describes their desired outcome in a very generic way, just like the sentence 1 in our example, to help the client make the outcome more contextual, I will ask the client some questions like, first, which area would you like to experience this calmness in first? Second, are there certain people or situations that come to your mind where we can help you experience this calmness first? The answers to these questions can then be added to the original outcome to make it more contextual. Third is that the outcome has to be something that the client wishes for and not something that they are saying because others expect them to do it. If the outcome is based on someone else's wants or expectations, the client may not take the interest they need to work consistently towards that outcome, which also means that you as a therapist cannot decide what the outcome for the client is. The decision needs to be made by the client alone. If the client has multiple options and are confused as to which one to choose, you can use cost-benefit analysis or pros and cons analysis to help the client. More on that in one of the later videos. Fourth, the outcome needs to be realistic and possible. This is especially true for outcomes that are time-bound. In my personal understanding, outcomes are never really unrealistic, but timelines can be unrealistic. So during setting outcomes, especially when it comes to broad outcomes, I will not include timelines. We will look at them during the more specific outcomes if required. Lastly, ensure that the outcome is about the client or is dependent on the client and not on someone else. So for example, if the client says, I wish my wife agrees with me. Notice how this outcome is about the wife and seems to be dependent on the wife. You want to explore this further and ask the client what needs to happen with you or what do you need to do to be able to ensure that the chances of achieving this outcome increases. The client may say, I need to learn to communicate calmly, clearly and effectively in a way that is in sync with how my wife thinks and decides. Notice the difference. In the earlier sentence, it seemed that the client is at the mercy of the wife, and in the second case, the client is more in charge of working towards the outcome. The example I have given is a bit simplistic, as the client was able to give the answer about the outcome that revolves around themselves just after the first question. In most cases, you will need to explore this more. NLP Meta Model can be a very powerful tool to do that. More on Meta Model in one of the later videos. For now, just remember that as long as the outcome is about the client and it is about what the client wants to achieve, you will be able to help them achieve that outcome. It may not be as simple as the example that I've taken, but this is also not as difficult as many people think. Let me now quickly do a recap of the key factors when defining the broader outcome. The outcome should be positive, contextual, based on what the client wishes, realistic and possible, and dependent on the client. You can use the expression positive contextual wishes are possible and dependent to remember these factors. Now that you know how to help clients define their broad outcomes, I want you to think and share with us why do you think asking the client to define a broader outcome before getting them into more detailed specific outcomes is important. I will share my reasons for doing this along with the steps that you need to take to help clients make these broader outcomes more specific and detailed in the next video. If you would like to be notified about the next video, do watch this space and follow us. I would also request you to join us in this mission to help mental health practitioners develop advanced therapeutic skills. You can do so by liking this video, commenting on it, and sharing it with your friends and your colleagues. And finally, if you are now ready to take the next step and not just understand these concepts but also learn them through practical applications under supervision, do check out the different training programs and internship opportunities for psychologists and psychology students on the iCharts website.